Hello everyone and welcome to episode 11 of MyGM on the Xbox One here on Klein92 TV. To start off this episode, I'm showing you guys the standings in the Western Conference, and the way that the Western Conference is shaping up right now, it's looking really weird to be honest. As many of you know, the Western Conference is way better than the East. We are above 500 in terms of our record, yet we are barely holding on to a playoff spot. I think right now we are the 6th team in the West, and we have around, I think, 12 games left in this regular season. But because of how tight the Western Conference is, depending on how we do on these last couple games, we can move up to the 3 spot, or if we lose enough games, we could not even make the playoffs. So it's pretty safe to say that there is definitely some pressure here in Utah. We are pressured to make the playoffs, especially since we have the best player in the entire NBA. And when you look at the standings in the Western Conference, we are behind some of the teams that we are definitely better than. We're behind the Minnesota Timberwolves, who were the worst team in the NBA in real life this past year, and we're also behind the Portland Trail Blazers. And just looking at those rosters, I think that our squad is way better than both of those teams. We have to approach the end of the season just one game at a time. In this episode, we're playing the LA Clippers. I'm hoping we can get this win. I think they're standing at the number 8 spot in the West, so winning this game will definitely help us maintain our playoff spot. And before I get into the gameplay of this video, I just want to answer a quick question. I noticed that a lot of you have been asking me what software I use to edit my videos. I'm still using Movie Maker, which is something I'm definitely trying to improve on. I have been practicing with Sony Vegas. It's just a really complicated software and it takes some getting used to, and I'm hoping that by the next episode of this series I will be using Sony Vegas entirely. And for those of you that have been followers of my channel for a while, you know that in the playoffs I like to do special intros going into the games, and I'm hoping that I will be able to do a really special intro using Sony Vegas. I'm not sure if it will be in the next episode of this series, but down the road you can look forward to that. I'm getting off topic though. Let's head into the gameplay of this video. We already have a 10-point lead on the Clippers in LA just going into the second quarter. If you saw the last episode of this series, you would have seen that Emmanuel Mudiay just took over the game, and he's starting to do that once again. We just kept giving the ball to Mudiay and it worked phenomenally. So LeBron James has the ball. He's getting a pick from Derek Favors, open on the 3-point line, and that goes in. We're holding on to a 7-point lead. Dante Exum has a wide open shot, but you know he doesn't have the best 3 ball. We need to improve that in the offseason. So Chris Paul's driving to the hoop, and Karl Anthony Towns with the block. That is not something we see often from him. He just rejected one of the best point guards in the entire league. And look at Chris Paul, he knows that he messed up after that play. So after a great defensive possession like that, we need to come back with some great offense. CP3 is trying to reach on Emmanuel Mudiay, and he posterizes Blake Griffin. One of the best dunkers in the entire NBA is getting Emmanuel Mudiay right in his face, and Blake's reaction says it all. He doesn't even know what just happened. So we have 2 highlight plays in a row. We need to get a third one. We have a 5-point lead on the Clippers. They're going to drive down low, and we're running the fast break again. Mudiay has the ball. I see LeBron, but he lobs it to himself instead. Look at this replay. The ball does not hit the rim. It doesn't hit the backboard. This is an illegal play. I don't know how the refs allowed this to happen, but Mudiay just gave us 2 points going into the second half of this game. We're running out of time on the shot clock. Mudiay will miss that shot, and the Clippers have a chance right now to get one more basket going into the second half, and they're gonna make that 3. So as we head into the second half of this game, the Jazz only have a 5-point lead, but if you saw all those highlight plays we had, we definitely have the momentum in this game. If we can just carry that into the second half, make some crazy plays with Emmanuel Mudiay, we're easily gonna walk away with the win. You can see that Mudiay is actually leading the Jazz in points over LeBron James with 16 points. And one guy that started the season really strong, but we haven't seen much of him in the last 2 episodes, has been Derek Favors, but he's still putting in his work. He has 9 rebounds at the end of the first half. Now, you probably noticed that the Clippers' approach in the first half didn't really work out well for them, so they developed a whole new scheme going into the second half of this game. Their strategy was pretty simple. They noticed that Derek Favors has been on a cold streak recently, so they just kept giving the ball to Blake Griffin in the post. And once I saw that the Clippers just wanted to play this game in the paint, I was perfectly okay with that. So this really started to turn into a battle of the bigs. You saw Karl Anthony Towns with that fadeaway. And here's Blake Griffin in the post, fading away with the hand in his face, and that goes in. That is not something that you see Griffin do in real life, but obviously this is a video game. He's making the same shot again to the right side, that time with LeBron James playing defense. So the Jazz send out their secret weapon, Emmanuel Mudiay gets Ramon Sessions to bite on that pump fake, and he will make that easy short-range jumper. We're holding on to a 12-point lead. The Clippers have the ball on the fast break. They're due to step back out to Chris Paul, two guys jumping in air, but he will make that three-pointer. Neither team is really going on a big run. Both teams are just going on little spurts where we'll score 5 points consecutive and then they will score 5 points. So the way it's working right now, both teams are looking for that spark, that star play that will put them ahead. Blake Griffin is going to miss that hook shot. Spencer Hawes with the rebound, but he will miss that as well. We're going to run the fast break, pass it over to Victor Oladipo, and LeBron James with the alley-oop. That is the play that we have been waiting for, and that is just a great connection between two phenomenal players. I'm hoping that by having LeBron on this team, he'll be able to mentor some of the younger guys like Victor Oladipo. You can see that there's less than 2 minutes left in the game. We're holding on to a 16-point lead, and it's looking good for the Utah Jazz. It seems like we're going to be able to walk out of here with the win. Dante Exum almost gets the steal, but Chris Paul will make that three. So 5 seconds left. You already know who I'm going to send out there for the buzzer beater. The spin master himself, Joel Anthony, takes the court. 4 seconds left. He has Spencer Hawes playing defense for the buzzer beater, but he gets hacked and he will not make that shot. Regardless, we still walk out of LA with a 9-point win over the Los Angeles Clippers. A great performance by the Jazz entirely. I'm going to show you the box score, and then we have, I think, 8 games left in the regular season. I'm going to simulate those 8 games because those games are really significant in that they decide where we're going to land in the playoffs. So looking at the playoff picture right now, we are standing at the 6th spot, and we are just 2 games away from being the number 3 team in the West, but we're also 2 games away from not making the playoffs at all. In our first 2 games, we lost to the New Orleans Pelicans, but we beat the San Antonio Spurs. We then lose to the Mavericks and the Grizzlies. So I simulate the 5th game, and we lose to the Warriors as well. So I'm starting to get nervous. We are now 1-4 in the simulation, and I'm thinking that we may not even make the playoffs. I simulate this game against the Thunder. We lose again. We are 1-5, and here is the game that killed us. We lost to the Denver Nuggets, who we should have beaten. They weren't even a playoff team. So we end up going 1-7 in our last 8 games. Here are the season-ending awards. Unfortunately, Karl Anthony Towns, who was in the running to win the Rookie of the Year, he did not walk away with that award. LeBron James wasn't even nominated for the MVP as well. Klay Thompson is your most improved player. Scott Brooks is the coach of the year. But look at this, Hingham McCringleberry for the 2nd year in a row. We win the executive of the year. Here are your all-NBA teams. The only guys that we had make those teams were LeBron James in the all-NBA first team. And we also had Karl Anthony Towns make the all-rookie first team. So at least we have some recognition there. Looking at the playoff bracket, we are the 8th team in the West. We will have to play the Thunder in the next episode of this series. Anyways, I hope you guys had a fun time watching this video. Be sure to have a great day. God bless, guys. Bye.